us, but on the Muse or the Holy Spirit. So I decided to try something different, a story. So I wrote the story Pierre Menard, author of Don Quixote, thinking, if I can't write this short story, it won't mean anything because I have never written any short stories. If I succeed, so much the better. If I fail, then it will quietly prepare me for the idea that I must give up literature. So I wrote this story. It is still a little hesitant. It is presented as an article, not a story. I published it at Sur, and one of my friends told me that as far as Pierre Menard went, this article offered nothing new for him, since he had read several articles about Pierre Menard. I replied, of course, I'm not saying that I invented the story. He is a rather famous literary figure.
In Pierre Menard, author of Don Quixote, published in Fictions, Borges, playing one of his brilliant literary games, compared a paragraph written by Cervantes to a paragraph written by the imaginary Menard. It's the same paragraph, but Menard's is vastly superior.
Truth, whose mother is history, rival of time, depository of deeds. Written by the lay genius Cervantes, this enumeration is a mere rhetorical praise of history. Menard, on the other, writes, Truth, whose mother is history, rival of time, depository of deeds, history, the mother of truth, the idea is astounding.
In Pierre Menard, Borges' astonished readers discovered that they too had the power to invent literature, to read Don Quixote not as Cervantes wrote it, but as written by Pierre Menard, a would-be contemporary of James Joyce. While Borges was imagining a literary revolution, Argentina was undergoing its own revolution. In 1946, Perón became president.
During Perón's time, you were badly persecuted.
Well, not that badly.
They arrested your mother.
Yes.
And your sister.
Yes, my sister and nephew too.
You were removed from your position as a chief librarian.
Yes, but it was quite a modest position.
Is that right?
Yes, but they still thought it was too much for me. I don't understand politics. I only understand ethics. I knew that government was dishonest, and by reporting them, I was reporting dishonesty, and that was enough for me. And also, it wasn't a good government. It was very cruel.
Because he refused to sign an oath of allegiance to the Peronist government, Borges was demoted from his post at the municipal library and named poultry inspector at the local market. True to what he called his writer's ethic, he resigned and was forced to earn his living lecturing, ever more conscious of how reality intrudes in the reality he'd learned from books. He explored the limits of space, the constraints of time.
Denying temporal succession, denying the self, denying the astronomical universe, our apparent desperation and secret consolations. Our destiny is not frightful by being unreal. It is frightful because it is irreversible and ironclad. Time is the substance I am made of. Time is the river which sweeps me along, but I am the river. It is a tiger which destroys me, but I am the tiger. It is a fire which consumes me, but I am the fire. The world, unfortunately, is real. I, unfortunately, am Borges.
Out of this conviction, Borges developed the idea or the hope of a place or thing that would allow him to be everything. A place or thing that is all places and all things. This Borges calls the Aleph. And yet even in this Aleph, this place that is all places, Borges, the protagonist, can't be happy. Must continue to be himself. Must continue to be Borges. He dedicates the story to the novelist Estela Canto, one of the many women with whom he fell in love.
All language is a set of symbols whose use among its speakers assumes a shared past. How then can I translate into words the limitless Aleph, which my floundering mind can scarcely encompass? The Aleph's diameter was probably little more than an inch, but all space was there, actual and undiminished. Each thing, a mirror's face, let us say, was infinite things. In the Aleph I saw the earth, and in the earth the Aleph, and in the Aleph the earth. I saw my own face and my bowels. I saw your face, and I felt dizzy and wept, for my eyes had seen that secret and conjectured object whose name is common to all men, but which no man has looked upon, the unimaginable universe.
Slowly but surely, from his desk in Buenos Aires, Borges changed the art of literature forever, recombining its genre, bringing to new life ancient themes. At the same time, though, his sight was growing worse. The doctor had forbidden him to read in dim light. One day, engrossed in a detective novel, he carried on reading in the fading light as the train entered a tunnel. When the train emerged, Borges could no longer see, except for a colored haze.
In 1945, I realized I was going blind and could no longer write or read. Then I thought, I will feel sorry for myself, and that is sad. I must fill my life with something different. Yellow is a color that has been with me all my life. Now it is the only color I can see clearly. On the other hand, I've lost other colors. Above all, the color that all blind people lose, but which others do not understand, the color black. They just assume that blind people live in darkness. That is not true. They live in a sort of mist, blue, green, or yellow.
From that moment, he needed people to read to him. At that time, many people did this for him, but the one who was an extraordinary help and influence on his work was his mother. His mother and the National Library. His employees and pupils would read for him too. People always surrounded him.
La primera bomba sobre la Casa de Gobierno. Después, bajo las nubes, el zumbido de los dos termicios. La destrucción cae sobre la plaza. El terror la sobrevuela a pocos metros y la recorre con la fuerza de los devastadores.
In 1955, Perón's government fell. For Borges, it was the end of a nightmare. What he called the Feast of the Monster had now ended. At the prompting of Victoria Ocampo, Borges was named director of the National Library. Suddenly he found himself master of a building which he'd compared to paradise. He was also the inheritor of a strange tradition.
What I didn't know at the time was that it was a treble dynasty. Marmol, Brussac and I, three directors of the National Library.